Okay, it looks like more and more of you are getting logged in. Um, Absolutely, our quickest, easiest way to just double check that we're doing and learning a little bit more each day. Lesson quizzes are directly out of your textbook. If you do have your textbook, you can always reference those examples that go right along with your lessons. I'm on lesson quiz 4.3. When we dropped off before the end of the term, we were all the way up to lesson 4.4. So, I know this. Some of this is a little bit of a review. Let me zoom in. Question number 1 talks about simplify the expression. 2 things I want to point out in this question. Always do not allow double signs. Call that a -8. Same thing here. Don't say plus a -7. Just call it -7. When we combine like terms, you can only put variables together that have the same exact letter and same exact exponent when it gets a little more complicated. So, -6, -7, throw it together. Then, -8, +1. So when I do that question, -7, -6, bam, -13W. Then I have a -8, +1. Opposite sign, subtract, get a 7. Keep the sign of negative, so I'm going to call it -7. And don't forget, sorry, got to sneak that little W in there. So -7W, -6W, -13W. This becomes -7, which can be written as subtract 7. So it looks a little clustered up. Let's write it out a little bit more clearly. I'm going to give you that first answer, -13W minus 7. I do like variables up front. Question 2, which expression is equivalent? Okay, I can only put H's with H's. Don't forget, include that sign that's right here for this one. -3.7H, +1.9H. Opposite sign, subtract them, keep your H on there. Same thing when I get to here. I got 2.1, nothing in front of it, so call it positive. -1.4, subtract that out, keep your sign. When I get down to question number 3, which pairs are like terms in the expression? Okay, like terms are terms that have the same variable. Y's, go with Y's. Don't forget the negative sign with it. Also, numbers, go with numbers. There's your hint. Make sure when you put them together, you end up subtracting. You have a 2/5 Y, a -2Y. So, obviously, I've already given you the answer for this one. That's one of the ones you're going to color in, and color in the other. Question number 4, simplify the expression 8.9 minus 1.4x plus -6.5x plus 3.4. Okay, this is going to be a negative. X's go with X's. Numbers go with numbers. Put that X up front for me too, please. Then, last but not least, make sure, got a little bit more on this one because we have N's go with N's. And here's another N. That has to go together. If you want to convert them all to decimals, that might be easiest for you. Obviously, 5/4 would become 1 1/4, 1.25. So if you want to call that 1.25N, fire away. That's going to be 4.25N. This is going to be 1.25N. I'm going to just lightly cross those off since I used them up. Then I got a +3/2 P and a -2P. -2P. That's going to be 1 1/2, which is 1.5 plus 1.5. Subtract those out. Your negative sign is going to roll on that one. And last but not least, you have a -3 and a +1. -3, +1. Make sure, I like having the N up front because it's going to have a way larger coefficient number in front of it. Then I'll have the P, then I'll have the number. So do your best. Obviously, we're just kind of getting by here, but appreciate all of you that are working so hard.